keynote, portion, and we have not one, not two, but three amazing people here to support you to get ready for life mastery. And Jakob, if you're seeing this, I'm sorry, I got to break protocol because I am reading from the bios themselves. I want to make sure that I capture everything. And Geeta, thank you so much. So first off, we have Geeta Taylor. For the past 18 years, Geeta has been working with people, helping them restore their health through proper nutrition, mindset, and behavioral therapy. She has a wealth of experience as a clinical nutritionist specializing in gut and hormone health. She serves as one of our senior trainers in this environment and has been involved with personal development since 2003. Awesome. Next up, we have Oscar Van Rooij. I hope I did not just destroy your last name. Awesome. Oscar is an international speaker, facilitator, and coach. For over 20 years, Oscar has been involved with professional and personal development with companies and individuals from around the globe. Today, Oscar is working together with different organizations, creating a change in companies and individuals through facilitating impactful and engaging events, training, and coaching programs. His do whatever it takes attitude, combined with his presence and energy, enables him to engage at a deeper level, allowing people to discover and unlock their personal and professional power. Oh, holy smokes. And last but certainly not least, Derek Zemmin. Woo! Derek is the event coordinator and nutritionist for Life Master Fiji and serves as part of the Orange Squad. Give it up, one of the amazing senior leaders. Derek also is a yoga instructor and an accredited nutritional therapist specializing in cleansing and detoxing. And he has been helping people achieve ultimate well-being for over 8 years. Give it up for our presenters, Geeta, Oscar, and Derek. The floor is yours.
Awesome. So first of all, a massive welcome to everyone that is on the call today. I've probably said this before, but I'm going to keep saying it. Life mastery, for me, and I believe for Derek and Oscar and many people here, is probably one of the best programs that I think Tony has created. For me, it gave me massive shifts that changed the whole physiology of my body and my life and how I help people around the world now. So can you actually bring Derek on as well? Because me and Derek are going to be facilitating the next portion together. Thank you, Nancy, for starting off with an amazing real question. And that was, how would you rate yourself for life mastery? So we've got virtual life mastery coming up on the 2nd of August. For 5 days, 6 days, who knows? I'm going to be on until it finishes. Although there will be another preparation call, probably sometime next week, led by our amazing Vicky St. George and Tag Chinky, today really what we want to do is revise some of that content, because when we know the content, we can serve at the highest level to make sure that we provide the participants with guiding them the right way. So, because there were some amazing scores on the wheel for this, we're going to start off with a little quiz, okay? So I'm actually going to go into gallery view because I'm going to be asking some questions, and if you want to answer that question, you need to raise your hand, and it's going to be the first person who raises their hand. And we want to see who wins. We want to see who is going to be able to be our Life Mastery Wheel winner of this event today. All right, are you all up for it? Thumbs up if you're up for it. Cool. So it's going to be the fastest hand raise. This is the virtual hand raise, not this. Fastest hand raise first, okay? Goes first. So, Derek, do you want me to go first with the questions?
Go ahead, yep.
Yeah, okay. So, question number 1. What are the 3 mandates that Life Mastery, that is the foundation of the Life Mastery? What are the 3 mandates? Come on. Tick, 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 tick. Okay, all right. Let's see if Donna can get this right. Come on, Donna. let's unmute Donna.
I am sorry, you know, it's just automatical to raise the hand.
All right. So I'm going to pass it on to Stephen. Is that okay?
No, we can buddy up.
Okay.
Buddy up.
You and Stephen then. Okay. You and Stephen, go for it.
So Stephen, the first one, stop the.
Okay, the first one's got to be stop the poisoning.
Okay.
Yeah. And number 2?
Detox and.
Revitalize.
So that's my fault, because it was cleanse and detox. It's quite the same, so it's my fault.
Okay, all right.
You already introduced the third one, Stephen.
Yeah, I thought that was what we're doing.
Yeah.
So it's you start.
What's number 3?
Number 3 is to revitalize.
Yes.
Rejuvenate and yes.
Revitalize and rejuvenate. Okay, awesome. So Stephen, you get 3 points. Okay. Awesome. All right, the next one. Can you unraise your hands, both of you, please? Right, next question. Who can name the 3 categories of poisons? Who can name the 3 categories of poisons? And I better get this right. Who can name the 3 categories of, all right, who can name 1 poison? Stephen, go for it. You're on fire. You need to unmute.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Environmental.
okay, environmental poisons. Yeah, brilliant. What else? Somebody else. What is another poison? Donna.
Chemicals.
Huh?
Chemicals.
Chemicals. Yeah, chemicals. Yeah. Okay, what's another poison? It's Donna and Stephen winning so far. Come on, everyone. What's another poison that Tony wants us to stop taking in?
Raise your virtual hand. I see Monina is
Come
giving
on,
an actual
guys.
hand.
Have a go.
I'm going to have to pick people then.
Monina.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. No, Monina, go for it.
Thought, emotions.
Emotions, yeah, definitely. That's awesome. Okay. Jill.
Well, food.
Food, yes. Yeah, so food can be a poison. So can somebody give me an example of a poison food?
Sugar, alcohol.
Okay. Brilliant. Okay.
Coffee.
So, who said coffee? Freddie. Okay. Awesome. All right. So sugar, coffee, right? Okay. And just give me, somebody else, just give me one more example. It doesn't have to be a category. One more example of a toxin that we might take in.
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
The
Just
air.
saying.
Somebody had to say chocolate.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's
Why
true.
chocolate? I mean, come on. It cannot be a poison. All right.
I said the air.
So
the air.
depending on, yeah, I mean, I think some types of chocolate are fine. There are definitely some types that are going to go down in the history of poisons. Okay, Stephanie.
I said the air.
Air, yeah. So we could pick up toxins from the air. Okay, awesome. And Gail.
Additives, things that are additives and chemicals that are placed on food, pesticides, insecticides, GMOs, the genetic modifications are a form of poison for the system.
Yeah, pesticides, additives, things that they put in food to make it last longer. Yeah, great, awesome. Right, so another question. Oh, Freddie, go ahead. I can't hear you.
Yeah, of course. Dry cleaning.
Yes, simple things like dry cleaning, because they use chemicals to dry clean our clothes. Yeah.
Geeta, can you let me know how you want to mark this question, please?
Yeah, just write down the names, and you can put 1, 1, 1 if they're answered 3 questions, like Stephen and Donna.
Okay.
So I've got some amazing answers in the chat. Marks for animal products. Yes, so most of the animal products that are raised in animal factory farming. Yep. Aluminium in deodorants. Leslie, thank you. Cow's milk, water, hormones in the animal feed. Yeah. I feel like I forgot to do my homework. Leslie. Okay, so the three
what's a big one that we get that we create? Poison. Anyone?
What's it? What is a big poison that we create? Pollution.
Pollution. Stress. There we go. Perfect. That's what I was looking for.
Julio, you get 10 points for that. Well
Great
done.
job.
Yeah. So when we're talking about Stop the Poisoning, it's the core part of the program. Does anyone remember the story Tony tells about Stop the Poisoning? Does anyone remember the story about the doctor? And Stephen, you're going to be winning this competition. Go ahead.
And there we go. It's a story of the person rescuing someone drowning in the river. And just as he gets them out and resuscitates them, then there's 2 more, and then there's 3 more. And then he asks the question, who's chucking these people in upstream?
Yeah, absolutely right. So the whole Stop the Poisoning is about going to the root cause of making sure that we don't keep adding poisons to our body, okay? Because Life Mastery, the core part of it is the detoxification, the cleansing. And if they're still continuously putting poisons in while they're cleansing, they're not going to get the ultimate cleanse that they need. They're not going to get their outcome. As it won't be as amazing as it can be if they stopped the poisoning and then did the cleanse while they were doing it. Great, excellent. All right, so the second part is the cleanse and detoxify. In this Life Mastery, not the ones that you've been in before, what is the core part of the cleanse? And this is going to be really for people who've done this before over the past 2 years. What is the core part of the cleanse? Anyone? So nobody. Oh, celery juice. Yeah. So these, Freddie, thank you. You get 2 points, Freddie. Celery juice. Okay. So one of the foundations of this course, there are other nutrients in there, is going to be the celery juicing, and we're going to talk about that in a moment. Jill, you've got your hand up.
Well, it's totally plant-based.
Yeah.
And lots of celery juice and water and vegetables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What don't we have on this cleanse that we actually have had before? In the
oil. The udo oil.
Yeah, the oils. Okay. Thank you for that, Jill. Amazing. Larissa.
Yes, hi everyone. I think this cleanse is going to be free of fat, no fat, even radical fats. So it's just purely fruit and vegetables.
Yes, yeah, purely fruit and vegetables. So, so just remember that we will go through the cleanse in a moment, but remember that that's going to be a core part of the cleanse. Okay. And the mandate number 3 is putting everything good back in. All right. So does anyone have any questions so far? I'm going to go through the PowerPoints to give you a more structured view of the program so you can understand how it's divided day by day. Okay. If you have any questions while I'm talking, just put them in the chat box and we'll get to them towards the end. Okay, so let's, am I able to share my screen? Okay, awesome, thank you. So, all right, so, and this is a part that mostly Derek sees, but nobody else does in this room, unless you've been to Fiji. So I bring this picture up because Life Mastery really also is about giving your body a break, okay? Like we would just going away and giving the physical body a break, okay? But also the part of it, there's so many structures in Life Mastery where we talk about emotional health. All of Tony's programs will talk about emotional health. In Life Mastery, it's a big part of it because it can be a poison for your well-being. So let's go to the next one. So I encourage you to look through the manual, okay? Everyone in this room here should have a manual, whether it's a hard copy or a virtual copy of the manual from either your Life Mastery or serving at Life Mastery. Tony puts physical body at the foundation of everything, okay? Because it is, you know, when our physical body is at the ultimate well-being, life around us is, you know, we can enjoy things are magnified. So Tony puts that physical body at the foundation. So when we are working with participants in our groups, we want to make sure that they understand that part of looking after themselves as being a core part of their long-term health and well-being and success and achievement that comes with a well body. So this is actually in the workbook. So make sure that you understand that and how everything else, like the emotions and meanings, the relationships, rushing around. If you're trying to rush and do everything, you might be causing internal stress. How money can cause stress. Again, how it's important to make sure that we celebrate and contribute the two spiritual needs, growth and contribution, that Tony talks about in the 6 human needs. Derek, just feel free to jump in and when you want to add something. So the 3 mandates are stop the poisoning, cleanse and detoxify, revitalize and regenerate, okay? So these 3 things are taught over the whole program. And here's a snapshot of what the 5 days looks like. It might be slightly different because the syntax may change slightly, but normally on day 1 is the introduction. What else do we do on day 1 to change our beliefs? What do we do to overcome any limiting beliefs? Does anyone remember? What do we do on day 1? It's one of the first things we start with. I'm going to stop calling.
There we go.
people.
Yep.
Who's that? Oh, I can't see chat.
Writing in the chat, ice bath.
Ice bath, okay. Because we want to be able to get people through the barrier of I can't do this to actually anything is possible. okay? In Fiji, it's a bit different. I believe you still got the polls. So
Yep.
yeah, it's different at the live event. Day 2 is emotional mastery. I'm really looking at the beautiful state, the mood meter, and the quality quantifier, which Oscar is going to go through with. That is a tool that we can use with our participants. It's a tool we can use for ourselves as well when we're thinking about food, okay? Day 3 is relationship mastery and looking at the principles of vital life, closing the gap, and designing our ultimate soulmate. Who do we want in life? Who's our partner? You know, are we with somebody, and how do we want to contribute to that somebody, or who are we looking for if we're not in a relationship? Day 4 is about time and life mastery, and really looking at having that life plan to help us pull us towards our ultimate life. And then day 5 is about integration, okay, and creating those daily practices. So every day you are likely to get different questions, which we will look at shortly, to guide the participants through the program. And okay, so stop the poisoning. A recap. The 3 categories are emotional, physical, and environmental. Okay, emotional being when we're in fear, when we're in frustration constantly, when we're in anger, when we're under stress, okay, that becomes a poison for our body. Physical is drinking diet sodas, or any sodas, it doesn't have to be diet, having too much sugar, having processed foods, having stimulants for the sake of having the stimulant. Do you understand what I mean by that? So when people say, I need a coffee to wake up, that's the wrong reason to have a coffee, okay? If you need a coffee to wake up, your energy's on the floor. You're doing something wrong, okay? And the environmental that we talked about is the air, somebody was saying to me about all the fire retardants that we're surrounded by in our homes, the paint, the curtains, the bed linen, okay? They all emit toxins that our body then has to deal with, okay? Somebody
Environmental. Environmental can also be a toxic environment, like such as if you're unhappy at a work environment where people are very, treating you poorly, or so that can also cause an effect as well, which then goes to the emotional side back into stress.
Yeah, great point there. So the people that you're hanging around with, yeah, your 7th power is either it's pushing you up or pulling you down, okay? All right, so again, consistently having negative thoughts, living in a state of fear, guilt, that should be guilt, not guilt, anger and sadness, and negative social environment. Some physical poisons that you will get questions asked about. I'm just going to move this up a bit. Soft drinks, highly processed foods, smoking, coffee, drugs, alcohol, body care products. People will ask about coffee. People ask you questions about bulletproof coffee. They're going to be asking you so many questions. Oh, can I have this? Can I have that? What about this tea? What about that tea? So we'll explain to you how to answer some of these questions towards the end so that you can serve them better, okay? So these are physical poisons, things that we put into our body through our mouth or through our skin or through inhaling. And then we've got air pollution, household cleaners, pesticides, herbicides, and then the environment. So we talked about this earlier. Why stop the poisoning first? It is to make sure that while we are cleansing and then moving forward, that we don't continue to poison our bodies, okay? So we want to stop that happening so that we can have an ultimate cleanse and allow ourselves to heal. So we want to break that pattern so that things that irritate and disturb the cells, like the acidic diets, the chemical exposure, the prescription or recreational drugs, negative thoughts, words and deeds are out. One thing I do want to say here, and I'm sure Derek will reaffirm that, is we never, ever, 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 ever tell them to stop taking their medication, okay? Never, ever, 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 all right? Even if they're coming to see the nutritionist, we never tell them to do that, all right? That's not our job. So the next part, which is cleanse and detoxify, every participant will have been sent a program of how they are going to be cleansing every day and what is happening. They will get all the recipes. They will get a day-to-day menu plan. They've got a food list. They know exactly what they need to buy. So anytime a participant asks a question, okay, about what are we doing today for our cleanse, you want to refer it back to their handout, okay? They will have this available for them, and I believe it will be actually on the dashboard as well. We'll learn more about that when Vicky and Tad talk us through the event planning, okay? But day one is when the cleanse starts and they start to remove. Day two, they are releasing toxins and poisons. So that, what might be happening for them on day two? Anyone? Days 2, 3, and 4, in fact. What do you think might be happening?
Emotional distress, tired.
Yeah. Yeah.
Irritated, mood changes, mood swings, headache.
Yeah. Brilliant. Absolutely right. Now, they actually do have tools in their manual and on the dashboard on how to deal with some of these things, okay? For example, what to use when they've got headaches, what to use if they're feeling nauseous, okay? So they will have handouts that will help them get over and through the, I would say the
Right, they'll also have something probably from, if I'm assuming Dr. Lisa will be on.
Yeah.
She provides a whole list of homeopathy things that they can buy, magnesium citrate. There's a whole bunch of lists of stuff that they can use. Magnesium is also, a lot of people, it's listed in there, but you can actually use it for headaches as well because it helps with inflammation. But they'll get a whole list from Dr. Lisa and it'll be on their dashboard.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Okay. Does that make sense? Brilliant. Okay. So the symptoms: fatigue, headache, nausea, body aches, change in their pooping habits, strong body odor, runny nose like mild flu-like symptoms. Those are all very common signs of some of the detoxification. The part that we want to make sure that you know that this is a real problem, what we call a red flag, and that you need to pass them and send them over to the nutritionist. Okay, and these red flags, this is some of them. This is by no means all of them. Okay, so if somebody has food allergies and they are allergic to the foods that are listed in the program, you send them over to, actually, do you want to do this part, Derek? Because you'll have a lot of the experience on that.
Yeah, so it's just when you know, when you get somebody in a room or you speak with them or texting, whatever, and these come up, so like food allergies, they can't, you know, they are like allergic to celery or an ingredient in the soup. That's when you would pass it to us, because we can give them alternatives to replace, or we can also give them a whole other different type of food as well. That's our job. If they haven't gone to the bathroom since the beginning of the cleanse, that can be a red flag. It can also be we noticed some people that went 3 or 4 days without, and that's where you definitely send them to us. Tingling sensations like in their fingers, it usually starts in the hands. It can also start on the feet. That's a red flag. Send them to us. If they've got a fever, hot flashes, cold sweats, in the middle of the night, they can't seem to, you know, sleep, and they're tossing and turning and they're just irritable, that's a good indication to send to us. Constant diarrhea. So if it's diarrhea, like if they had it like once and a couple of times and they're fine, then that's probably not a horrible red flag. But if it's constant diarrhea and it's just they've been in the abdominal region. So when people get bloated, that's what we're looking for here. There is a lot of, when you look at the recipes, there is a you know, a lot of food in there, and a lot of people think that they're supposed to consume the whole thing. The idea is to tell them that they don't need to eat the whole thing. If they stop when they're full, or even before they're full. So when they're content, that's when they should stop. So they can get really bad abdominal, you know, cramping. That's send them to us immediately. I already said cold sweats and clammy. Confusion, slurred speech, you can really sometimes see we had a few people that you get them on, you know, on the camera, and you could see that they were almost like passing out. And the words that they were saying and the stuff that they were saying was not making a lot of sense. That's when you definitely send them to us.
Brilliant. And the last part is revitalize and regenerate. But what I want to do is, I'm just going to stop share. The revitalize and regenerate part is when they will be hearing from a variety of speakers who will come on and talk to them about specific dietary protocols. And they're going to get one doctor saying, this is the greatest diet on the planet. Another nutritionist saying, this is the greatest diet on the planet. The medical medium saying, this is the greatest diet on the planet. You're going to get that. Okay, that's okay. All right. We never tell anyone which one they need to go for. Even if you feel, because you're on keto, that keto is the best thing on the planet of this earth, we never tell anyone to go on any specific diet. They need to do the research themselves. And really, before we get them to embark on any diet, they really need to see somebody, a specialist, who can help them do that. Okay, does that make sense? So the revitalize and regenerate part is really starting to get the good stuff back into their body, not just at this event, but looking at maintenance, things that they can look at long term. Anything you want to add to that, Derek?
Yeah, and you'll hear, you know, where some of the speakers will come on and they'll talk about healthy fats, and they may mention that, and you'll see a lot of questions coming in. I thought we weren't supposed to be having fats. So when you see something like that, you know, always check. You guys will be able to have access to, you know, the list of foods and everything that's in there. always use that as a reference. You can say, yes, the cleanse we're doing right now, there are no fats until the last day. Just reiterate it and just say, this is, another person's viewpoint. There are many different cleanses out there. All you have to do is just do your research and try different ones. You can say stuff like that, but this cleanse, no fats. So you might have to say, give them certainty is really your job, is just to confirm, give them certainty, and then tell them that, there are many options out there and you're going to hear lots of different information from different people.
Awesome. Great. So we wanted to just give you some tools to be able to use when participants come to you with, I'm just feeling so tired, and they're crying. How do we start to help these participants? Okay. Or I just love pizza and I will never be able to give up pizza. How do you deal with that? Okay. So I want to bring on Oscar. Where are you, Oscar? Who is going to give you some tools to be able to use with the participants. Okay, so Oscar, let's give it up for Oscar. Yay! I'm going to just pin you as well, if that's okay.
Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Yes. First of all, thank you, Derek. Thank you, Geeta. But also, you can thank your bottom. Say thank you, bottom. Come on, I can see you. Come on. Slap that ass. Come on. Thank you. There you go. So now you're going to give your bottom a break. So get up, everyone, because we're talking about a mood meter. So what better way to explain the mood meter than to change your current mood? Who's up here to change their mood? Say aye. Right. So here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Come on, everybody should stand up now. Come on, here we go, here we go, here we go. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Okay, here we go. Whoa, yes. Right. Who just felt a change in their mood? Good. Oscar, what a brilliant way to do this. You're amazing. I know. So, the mood meter. I'm going to talk about the mood meter. You can find it in your manual. The manual that I have, it's page 91 to 102. And I'll just show you the first bit. The mood meter and quality quantifiable presented from the front by a facilitator. But what I'll do, hey, by the way, if you want, you can stay standing because you can breathe easier. There's your first tip, how to create more energy when you're presenting. So let's do the share screen. I'm doing it just for a little bit. Okay, here we go. Stay with me here for a few seconds. Slideshow. So what do you notice? The mood meter. Oscar, that's a brilliant visual. Thanks. So we all have a mood meter. Who drives a car every now and then? Have you noticed that in your car is a similar meter that looks at your RPMs your engine does? Right? Hello? Yes? Come on, so give me something. Yes. So what happens if your engine goes too much in the red? Put it in the chat. What happens to the engine? It will blow up, right? So if your engine is too much in the red, like this arrow shows you, you need to pull over. The same happens with your mood. If your emotions, your mood is too long in the red, you need to pull over. Because as you blow up an engine, what might happen to you when your mood is too long in the red? Put it in the chat. What might happen? I'll open the chat as well so I can actually see. Let me see what can happen. You lose energy. Yeah, depression. I love it. Disease. Yes, it's all good. In other words, some people, it's a burnout. Thank you very much. So, because the mood, and I can highly recommend, I got this book here of a researcher, a Japanese researcher called Masaru Emoto, and he's explaining the power of emotions on water. Well, guess what or who is made the majority out of water? You just point yourself. So the mood meter is a great tool that you want to choose your emotions. You know how we build up with emotions, obviously with the triad. So I'll go to this one. So what you will see, it's the whole mood meter. You can read through this in your own time. I only have 12 minutes left, so I want to speed this up. So, but the key thing is, the participants will be asked to check their moods. Where are they? Who here's got a favorite food menu? Who's got a favorite dish? Say I. All your hands should go up. Yeah. I can see someone there. Let me see. What's your name? There's a beautiful gentleman with a gray goatee. Your hands, I can't, there you go. Hands up if you got a favorite food. Do you have, yes, you do. Great. So why would you have a favorite food menu? Because you can then do it again. Guess what? You say, what? So once you find out what your moods are, so what they're going to ask you is to make sure you will follow the day and see what moods do I currently live. You will notice that people like yourselves and others are living just a few different moods a day. But the good news is, if you change your mood, if you go out for dinner and you go to a Japanese where you've never been, what might just happen with your food menu? You extend it. The same happens with moods, not for people in this room, obviously, but do you know people outside this room that tend to go to only a few moods on their menu? Not you, obviously, people outside this room. So it's good to change the menu, to go for different menus on the moods. So, because this is also, Tony recalls this at Life Mastery, it's about the placebo effect, how important emotions can impact on the body and the immune system. As Derek already said, the biggest thing that we make ourselves to make us sick, to poison ourselves, is stress. The stress will impact your immune system. Your immune system goes down. Guess what? What happens to diseases? It's almost like you open a door to your system and say, come on in. Knock yourself out of my organs. It's all good. So mood. I love this one. And for those of you who haven't have it yet, I'm sure you have a subconscious menu. What I would highly recommend is to create your feel-good menu. Or as you see on the other page, the love myself menu. It's very important that you do this thing. So all do with me, and you know, body language is 55%. So say the love myself menu. There you go. High five, Geeta. There you go. Well done, baby. But it's important. There you go. So it's that sample menu that they will do. But I highly recommend it that you make your menu before you start Life Mastery. Would it be useful with the silly hours you do, especially if you're in a different time zone, that you have a menu? I would say so. So I highly recommend that. So obviously, here's a way to do it. There's parameters on the top there that says, okay, is it of cost? Other people's are involved. It's a great logistical tool to do that. So now we get to the even more fun bit. Here we go. So we now have the great tool, and that tool you can find on page 103. And it's 103 to 108. And it's called the quality quantifier. Say it out loud. What is it called? The quality quantifier. So also, for those of you present, I want to give you a different experience that you can easily use a flip chart as well, instead of sitting down. So very simple. How to use the quality quantifier. First step is you want to quantify currently on a scale from -10 to +10, how are you feeling? I think it was Geeta who just mentioned the whole pizza thing. So basically, if somebody says, I can't get rid of pizza, I'm not sure. Derek, do they still use the old Tony video with the guy with the pizza? They do. Wow. Okay, if you, well, you probably, all of you have done live masters, so you probably can remember this video where the guy had like if there was a 20, the guy would have a plus 20. That's how bad he wanted this pizza. So what Tony does in this video, he first of all lets him quantify, because obviously the guy was out of shape. And one of the things that got him out of shape was the pizza. That's part of the story. So what Tony wanted to do is, by using this tool, is getting the pizza to a -10 or lower, so he doesn't want it. So first of all, how bad do you want the pizza? That was constantly your measurement. And then the description, step number 2. Okay, what kind of sense, what kind of feelings? Step 3 is obviously like anything else in life, you got to decide. You got to decide -10 to +10. What is the level of experience of the desired feeling? Now, let's say you want to go for a run, you want to run regularly, but currently you associate pain to running. You're like, oh, man, I gotta get out of bed, I gotta put shoes on, blah, 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 it's raining, whatever. You either have an excuse or a result. And then you have a story why you don't have the result, there's your excuse. So, and then once you have step number 4 is the strategy. So Tony, with this video, the guy loves the pizza. Tony brings on the pizza on stage and he loves it. And then he's like, okay, what would bring it down? And the guy, I think one of the steps like, ooh, if it was covered in fat. And the guy and somebody else comes out with a massive plastic bag of fat. So Tony starts covering this pizza and the guy's like, smell the pizza. And he puts the fat on it. And even when it's almost 80% covered, the guy's like, how much would you like it now? He's like, ooh, it's 6 because I can still see a crust. And you'll see the video again, but it's a very nice strategy to keep going. So what you all use, and in your manual, you will see it horizontally, but I pulled it out like this. So basically, somebody either sits here when it comes to running, and they want running. So the thing is, you want to measure it. So obviously, you want to get people to a level 10 where running is like oxygen. Or maybe they're like, you know what? I want to get 70% live foods if that is for you, or whatever. I want to drink more water, whatever it is. So this is a very easy strategy, 0 to 10 scale. Where are you? From neutral to okay, to slightly euphoric, and with a level 10, you go bonkers. Or if it's something they want to get rid of, but currently the meaning is now a 10, you want to obviously get that down to a -10. I did it with somebody with about smoking, and we got him to visualize the cigarettes lying in the toilet with somebody's life mastery diarrhea. That sort of put the person off. And if you anchor that strong enough, that feeling, all right, smell the cigarette, smell the poo, smell the cigarette, see the cigarette drifting in diarrhea, something like that. So it's also good to have fun with that. All right, so we got a few minutes left. What I'd like you to do, Donna, can you still do the breakout rooms in pairs? Yes? What I'd like you to do, very, very quickly, about 2 minutes each, you go in your breakout room, think about, make it up, I'd like you to experience. So 2 persons, person A, you are the person with either the addiction, and if you have a real one, use it, or maybe it's something you like to do more of in your life. And it's obviously make it more visual. How would that feel? What would it sound like? And then after 2 minutes, have a play with it. That's all you want to do. You want to wake up that muscle again and then practice more later outside this meeting. And then after 2 minutes, you swap. So then person B becomes the person who wants to get rid of something or wants to gain something, and person A becomes the coach. Is that clear? Thumbs up if that is clear. Oscar, man, you are so clear. Right, so Donna, please put them in this room and close the rooms in 4 minutes, and please give them a 2-minute warning to swap. Go, go, go.